All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the boys of Constitution 6, Job Saunders, Connor Essery, Tyler Bruner, and Dalton Walker. Welcome to All Things Conservative. I'm actually changing it up this week. We said we were going to be talking about immigration, but we actually have a guest speaker next week.
Yeah,
it sounds like. So we're actually going to switch immigration to next week, which bumps our for next week's topic up to now. So surprise topic. We're talking about abortion. And so tonight is probably going to be a pretty heavy night.
Honestly it is, because I mean, you talk about we're four white dudes talking about abortion. Like that, we don't give birth to kids, so this is going to get interesting.
We don't give birth because we're all men. Unless someone's hiding something, but I'm pretty sure no one's hiding anything.
I do not possess the ability to birth children.
All right.
I hope you guys don't either.
I hope we don't.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. Let's start getting.
Let's dive into it.
So obviously the question for this week is obviously pro-choice or pro-life, and I want to hear the pros, and I want to hear the pros and cons of both sides. I don't want it to just be this week that we're only talking about having pro-life.
Right.
I'm probably going to jump in and play devil's advocate for a little bit.
Perfect.
For like pro-choice, but before we start off, I want to hear everyone's view pro-choice or pro-life.
Man.
Anyone want to start?
Yeah, just Job, start, go.
All right, fine, I'll start. So, I could see both sides. I can, on this topic. So, I would first like to mention about why there might be a lot of people that pick pro-choice, especially women who are dealing with the situation, and they're the ones that give birth to these kids. And, it's a lot that they can go through, especially with their backstory. And, although I don't think rape is as effective as the media exaggerates it to be, but it still exists. It still is a thing. And it's a scary thought that, you're raped and you have a child and you don't know what to do with this child. And, and then you don't know what other people are thinking about you in the situation. It's a nightmare. It's scary. It's a scary feeling to have. But on my conservative view, there's plenty of options that I feel that should be options for a little infant or a piece of life that is happening inside the womb, instead of just aborting it. Because regardless of whatever is happening regardless of the abortion, it is murder. Like they cannot deny that it is not murder. You are murdering a baby, no matter how humane it can be for the murder. How humane you kill the baby, it's still murder. And there's a difference between killing and murder. Connor and I have talked about this, but it is murder. It is involving a process where the baby is going to die. And a little research, it was funny because last night I saw this video of this guy. His name is Dr. Levatino, I think.
You're talking about the one that describes the late-term abortion?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, that was a story I was going to tell later.
No. So I'm going to tell it now.
Oh, no, just save it. I want to hear everyone's opinion first.
Okay. So, that's my main opinion.
Job is very pro-life.
Yes.
All right, Connor.
Okay, so coming from my personal beliefs, I'm pro-life as well. I believe that a life starts at conception, regardless of how many cells are there. When the sperm hits the egg and starts to fertilize it, that's when DNA starts to form. That's when the very beginning of a human starts to form. Now, I know a lot of people would debate that, be like, well, it doesn't have a heartbeat yet or anything, but as soon as a single cell is alive, that means life is forming. So based on that specific alone, I would say that I'm very much pro-choice.
Okay.
I'm going to take a different approach from these two awesome guys. for me, it's really difficult to make a 100% I'm on one side or the other, just because I do have family members who have been raped and have conceived a child and kept the child. But I've been raised by a single mother my entire life as well. So my stance on it is I'm in the middle, because I feel, I hear these 2 points, and I do think that abortion is killing a living thing, regardless if people think it's a part of their body. It's still a living, breathing person, not just a clump of cells like what Connor said. But I also see the other side of, why should someone come on in and tells a woman, well, you can't do this because we deem it unethical or illegal in some states still. Why should we go in and tell a woman that she can't do something that's, her, we can't tell, we don't conceive children as men. So, some people who make those decisions, or men, whatever, don't care. But, I guess for me, I'm on the fence. I don't know exactly what my stance is 100%, but I do see both sides, honestly.
All right. And then my stance is definitely, it's kind of in between what Connor said and what Job said. When Iowa passed the fetal heartbeat bill, that basically made abortions illegal in Iowa, which is essentially what happened, because I don't know the exact statistic about when women figure out that they're pregnant. That whole thing to me is dumb, and I'll get into that in a second. But I'm more on the side of pro-life than I am pro-choice. I feel like the only reasons that abortion should be allowed is if it was a very, very very violent circumstance, very, very violent, not oh, my boyfriend and I had sex and I'm calling it rape because I got pregnant, that. I'm not. That's not. No. That's not within the bounds of abortion. But if it was extremely violent, if you got physically injured and the baby will not survive, that for a fact, I feel like abortion should be allowed.
And that's where I see that point too.
Yeah.
It's there's no, and I think, and maybe I'm wrong, but I think abortion is very Americanized. I don't see many other countries having this issue. Maybe I'm wrong.
I can look it up real quick.
Probably the UK and countries that are similar to us might have that kind of thing, but it's definitely people go out and just have them just because, well, like Dalton said, well, I didn't like the sex that me and my boyfriend had, and now I'm pregnant, and now I'm going to have an abortion because, stuff like that is a little ridiculous. And that gets into rape and those kind of statistics. But, I feel like, there has to be some sort of concrete, either you're going to die or that baby's going to die, where that is allowed. That I can see too, and like I said, I'm on the fence. So, but that I can definitely agree with. That's kind of, if the baby is dying or you are dying, then that's a dire situation, and then something needs to take action. So
I agree. I do think that if it's absolutely necessary, that it's that's taking the mom's life away, or some very, I don't know, even Connor and I have talked about this, and I agree to Connor on this, and you guys as well, is if it's putting the mother's life at stake, or if it's putting, that's the main one. But it's, there aren't some very, very rare exceptions that I can take in terms of abortion, but that is mainly if it's putting someone's life at stake, mainly the mother's.
Now, I want to add to mine that, like I said, the only acceptable abortion that I feel is acceptable is one where you're trying to trade a life for another, right? And those are those cases where it's killing the mother. It's don't sacrifice one life for another life, because that can be really hard on the family, especially if it's a married couple and they give birth and the mother dies. Now the dad has to take care of it all by himself.
And a lot when that happens a lot, the dad almost I've seen cases in which the dad blames the child for killing the love of his life. So it's a very dangerous situation, which can lead to domestic abuse and stuff like that.
Now I also want to add on top of that, though, this is America, so we do have free choice, right? What I have a problem with is not necessarily the abortion itself. I do have a problem with abortion, But what I have a problem with is when we start getting abortion into the government and the government starts paying for abortions to where it's coming out of my tax dollars in order to support abortion. Okay, I don't believe in abortion. But if you want to get an abortion, that's between you and God. But don't make me pay for it because I don't believe in it. So when you take tax dollars out of my paycheck to go to Planned Parenthood so that other people can get an abortion out of convenience just because they don't want to deal with the baby, that's what I have a problem with.
Yeah.
I agree.
I did just do a little research, and I found that in Germany, for instance, they have abortion laws, and the only abortions that are allowed in Germany are first trimester.
Really?
Yeah, that's it.
So within
you're, like second trimester and third trimester, no. So in the first 3 months of pregnancy, you're allowed to have an abortion. Now I'm going to get into this fact that like I've seen cases online given with people anywhere. Okay. Yeah, it's so dumb. Okay, so okay.
Take your time.
You have two people who may or may not love each other have sex, right?
Okay.
Yeah, they use unprotected, and like there's no pulling out or anything.
Sorry.
All right. Yeah. All right.
Sorry.
This is where it gets dumb. If that happens, and the girl says, "Oh, I won't get pregnant because like I'm on my period" or something like that, or there's something, any unprotected sex can cause a pregnancy. I don't understand what people don't understand about that.
Yeah.
Like people are like, "Oh, it'll be fine." No, it won't. No.
So question for you, Dalton. Do you think that's just a lack of education on like maybe the school's part when you take a health class? Is that lack of education?
No, I don't think it's a lack of education. I think it's a lack of common sense. I'm sorry, I had to swear
That's
there. But
stupidity.
it's all common sense.
Hey, I got you in post. Don't worry.
Yeah, it's like that pisses me off so much that like women are gonna be there, like they're gonna like hole around, they're gonna be fine. They have unprotected sex with a bunch of guys, and it's gonna be fine. Like even if guys pull out, it still sometimes happens.
Do you think sometimes
the best way to not have a baby is to not have sex? So
abstinence, exactly. Connor's the king at that.
Yeah, 21 years.
I'm so sorry, Connor.
It's fine.
Damn.
Oh my god, I did not expect to say that.
Well, I did, and I'm not taking it back.
What was I saying?
I don't know. What were you saying?
Abstinence. Okay,
There
so
you
we were
go.
talking about even if you don't have abstinence, all right, be responsible.
Yeah.
Right? Don't go having sex with everyone who walks out of the room.
That's about right.
And if you're going to have sex, take the proper measures in order to stay safe. Right?
Yeah. And I think there's some guys out there that they'll screw anything that walks. Like it's disgusting. Like we talk about women hoeing around, but like there's guys legit that go out and they'll be like, oh, she looks pretty, I'm gonna get her number and have sex with her tonight. I don't know, maybe I'll use condom, maybe I will use condom. So I think like you said, it's like a common sense, and it's just a lack of, hey, wrap it before you tap it. Dingus.
What do I say when anyone leaves the dorm? It's like if you're going out on like a Saturday or Friday night, I don't care who it is, like in our dorm, it's like it's either Joe, Connor, or whatever, or it's like our other two sweet mates. I always like open my door and go, wrap it before you tap it, and everyone's like, okay. And just like they leave. But it's sitting there, it's like it's a joke, but it's also not a joke.
Yeah, exactly. Like it doesn't only protect from babies, but it always protects from STDs. Like you don't want to have crabs. That's gross.
That's nasty.
I mean,
no.
And I just don't get it. Like I just don't get it. Like people who are just intentionally just don't care. It's like going down a highway not wearing a seatbelt. Like, are you kidding me? Like
going on the highway 90 miles an hour on a motorcycle with nothing but a shirt.
Thank you. I hate that.
Actually,
it's
no
totally
shirt.
off subject.
No shirt.
No
shirt.
No,
nothing.
Shirt.
Nothing.
You're going down naked.
Exactly. I mean, how stupid would that be if you crashed?
I mean, your medical bills are going to be somewhere like how much money is it to raise a child? Like,
oh, what, $1 million? Something like that?
Yeah,
something like that.
That's going to be your medical bills too. It's either child or have fun but die.
Let's bring it back into abortion. But I don't even know what kind of subject we're on, but yeah, like just the whole.
We were talking about how idiots get
Yeah,
pregnant.
so I'm going to pull up a statistic because, I mean, this kind of subject I think calls for it. This kind of goes into, I found a statistic from the Bureau of Justice Statistics, and it says in 2016, so these are kind of old statistics, not updated, of course, but it says in 2016, U.S. residents aged 12 or older experienced 5.7 million violent victimizations, or 21.1% of victimizations per 1,000 people. It says overall, about 1.3% of the population experienced one or more violent victimizations, which include crimes of rape or sexual assault, robbery, and aggravated simple assault. I couldn't find like exactly rape or whatever, but it kind of gets into the point of, it kind of ties back to what we were talking about with the campus situation. You know, we have this whole left side talking about we have a rape culture on college campuses, which leads into, of course, Planned Parenthood and its abortion statistic, which I think we'll get into here in a little bit. But the whole statistic is like 1 in 4 women will experience rape on a college campus, and it was 1.5 before. So, and it's been proven multiple times to be incorrect, staggeringly incorrect. But I don't get where they get these numbers from to say that 1 in 4 women will experience rape on a college campus. I don't get that. But
no, neither do I.
I don't get it. But then it gets into the statistic I want to pull up and I want to get into. So, as we all know, Planned Parenthood is basically the
abortion clinic.
I wanted to call it an abortion factory, but you know.
Oh my God.
I'm terrible.
So,
so
do we want to go back to what Joe was saying earlier with the doctor? And I also watched the same video, and. Do you have the video up?
I have the video up, actually.
Just like describe what he says.
So basically, this guy has worked on doing abortions for technically a living, and he's done around I'd say 30,000. I would say
that's
higher.
The number that's in there.
And he literally describes the procedures of like
late term abortions.
Yeah,
really?
Late terms abortions.
The video takes place in a like a Senate hearing on abortion, and they're talking about it, and he is a professional witness. I think that's what they're called, or like a professional or expert witness. That's what they're called.
Okay.
And he is a doctor who worked at an abortion clinic for like a long time.
It was basically his career.
Yeah, he describes like early term abortions where like you just kind of like suck out the fetus with like this little tube thing, but he also describes late term abortions.
Oh God,
late term abortion is horrible.
Even early term abortions, when it's being sucked out, it's literally tearing the baby part by part out. So it goes with the head. Usually they start with the limbs first, then they tear the head off, and then they suck the body into pieces. So at the same time, all this is going on, the baby can still feel everything. It just can't say anything because it's in the first term.
Oh my God.
So its arms are getting ripped off, then its legs, then its head, and then the body.
Just wait until you hear about the late terms.
Are you kidding?
So when it gets larger, obviously they have to get a bigger tool
and
for it.
let's not scare the listeners.
Yeah, let's not. We'll just keep it like that.
Yeah,
I would assume it's terrible. Like I've never heard of this.
It's graphic.
Yes,
it's very, very graphic.
It's
like they essentially tear the baby apart. With like long tweezers.
Yeah, basically large tweezers, and they yank out the lips.
Yep.
Or limbs.
He described one thing that I want to say that like if you are listening, this might scare you a little bit. When they pull out the last thing that comes out, because the last thing to come out is the head.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It has a face of its own.
Excuse me, what?
It has a face.
It's basically
of
a baby.
Its own. You can see the face of the child that would be born.
A late term abortion, that baby could survive in a NICU. More than likely, those babies could survive.
This is disturbing.
Yeah.
Wow. What's the name of that video, Job? If people want to be brave enough to go watch that video.
So if you want to watch this video, you can go to YouTube, and it's called Dr. Levantino Destroys Abortion in 2 Minutes.
And he doesn't actually show you any pictures. He just describes what he does.
Thank you.
There is Or no, that's a different video. My bad. But there's a video that shows like the graphics on how it's.
He has a video where it's an animation.
Yeah.
And so it's not graphic.
Right.
But it'll show you how the baby is torn apart.
Yeah.
You know, I think I've seen some stuff like that on the internet, but just hearing it, you know, it's graphic. It's what it is. Like no matter like you said, Connor, no matter what stage it is, it's very, very graphic. And what they have to do is it's procedure, but it's scary.
You could, like I said in the beginning, you could try to kill a baby the most humane way possible, but it's still murder.
It's still murder.
You know, there's no other easier way.
And
you
the fetus will still suffer, no matter what stage you're in. It will suffer.
Yep.
Because you can feel it.
Yeah.
I just want to add something on top of that. I just find it a little bit hypocritical that when someone's vegan because they're against animal cruelty, and yet being pro-choice at the same time. Don't you guys find that a little hypicritical?
Vegan and
Just a
pro-choice,
little
yeah.
bit,
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
They think that animal life is more important than human life.
Yeah, exactly. That's it's a little hypocritical, I would think. You know,
Just a little.
I've never met someone who is vegan and that at the same time, but I would assume they're there somewhere in the world, somewhere in like I don't know, Utah. Is that where? Well,
Utah's pretty conservative.
really
Very,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's the capital state of Mormon.
Yeah,
that's
a
true.
lot of Mormons are conservative.
What would be the most liberal state?
Probably California.
Okay, yeah,
California
there you
or
go.
New
California,
York.
California,
One of the
New
two.
York. Yeah, there you go.
Florida
I was
as well.
like, I just
No,
Florida's more Republican.
Florida is
it's
more
a
Republican.
swing state.
It
It's
is.
a
Oh,
swing
it is.
state, yeah.
it's
Shoot.
become more Republican because they voted Trump, didn't they?
Yep.
Yep. So,
Oh, yeah.
So did Ohio
forgot.
and so did Iowa.
hey, what do you know? Well, and apparently, from what I heard from like some statistic, I don't know where it was. It's through the grapevines. This college actually voted Trump.
Really?
This college did.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
From what I heard, I don't remember.
See,
That's
I'm
hard
going to
to
go on
think.
a little tangent real quick while we're talking about the last election. And
Yes.
abortion was very big in the last election.
It was.
But a lot of people say that, Hillary won the popular vote by like 2 million people.
It doesn't.
2 million of those people live in California. The California only has 36 electoral college votes. It doesn't matter.
Really?
You play the electoral college right, you can do it.
Yeah.
But if you don't and you only go for popular
Oops.
votes, it doesn't usually work.
That's like how they say that the number one language is, Chinese because there's 1 billion people in China. So if you take them out, guess what's the most popular language?
English.
Spanish.
Oh, no,
Really?
it is Spanish. No, it is.
Oh yeah.
You got all the Latin American countries. You got
Mexico.
you got all of. There's almost more Spanish speakers in the United States than there are in Spain.
What would be after that? Like France?
Then it's English.
That's
Oh,
it's
that's
English.
English,
Yeah.
okay.
It's Spanish then English.
Because remember, people that speak English are in America, Canada, England, England, Scotland, Ireland, and then you have like all the Northern European countries that not only teach their native language, but they teach them English.
It makes sense. Yeah. That's interesting.
I think it's funny how like America is like one of the only countries that just teaches one language.
That's true.
Well, because
te-
we're the best, so
Yeah.
you want
Might
to
as well.
trade with us, you
American
might as well
American
learn our language.
exceptionalism is very
Yeah.
very real.
But no, I was going to add to that. Like Trump lost the popular vote. Vote. You know who else lost the popular vote? Obama
And George Bush.
and George Bush.
The past 3 presidents in a row.
So can we now confirm that the popular vote doesn't flippin' matter?
Yep. All right,
well,
back to abortion.
It does,
Yeah,
but it
I was-
doesn't. Back to abortion.
I was gonna.
So-
I have another statistic.
Yeah, what's up?
About abortion? I already told Tyler about this, but this is kind of a tangent to one of the subjects we will talk about later on, which will be my favorite subject. And it's
Which was that one?
it's gun control.
Oh,
actually.
okay.
Yeah, I love talking about it. Anyways, so this one statistic I found from Miss CJ from the Chicks on the Right. They have a
Oh
website.
yes, I
Yep.
love that website.
She actually collected a statistic of the death in America with abortions versus guns from 1973 all the way to 2013.
Oh, wow.
Guess how many abortions there were?
I'm going to say over 10 million.
Higher.
What?
What?
Oh my god.
54 million
Jesus.
abortions from 1973 to 2013. Want to know how many gun deaths there were?
Like thousands.
524,000. That's nothing.
So
compared.
50 million abortions versus
500,000.
less than a million gun
Just
deaths.
gonna say,
Exactly.
And some of those gun deaths don't or include suicide, so not just
Right.
I'm
you
also
know?
gonna include that 50 million, 53 million.
54 million.
Oh, all right. Yeah, that would up America's population by about, well, obviously 50 million, but that would put us over the 400 million mark.
Jeez.
That would be okay. There's 4 people in here.
Yeah.
Be adding a 5th person.
Literally.
Yeah.
Gosh. That's
Yep.
just
So
54 million. That's so hard to just to comprehend.
21 million people died in World War II.
What?
Yeah.
well, Democrats.
Oh.
Yeah.
It looks like they got their priorities straight, right?
Yeah.
Since we're talking about statistics,
It's essentially. Oh wow! I totally just figured it out.
huh?
It's a genocide.
it is.
Quite literally.
Like, that's a really harsh word, but if abortion clinics have killed more people than the Nazis did, and the Nazis committed a genocide,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I put that in the same. I want to see how many babies Planned Parenthood has killed. I want
Well-
to see that exact statistic,
well,
because that could
I'm
throw
gonna-
them into genocide.
I'm going to bounce it off of you. So we're talking about statistics, and there's.
Oh, by the way, if you ever see any of us out and about, feel free to come up and argue us, unless we're doing something important, then we're just going to shove you off.
Yeah, let's.
I'm never doing
That's
anything
true.
important.
Yeah,
I do stuff in that.
Playing Spider-Man.
I do.
Yeah.
By the way,
But no,
the new Spider-Man game is great.
it's fantastic.
Just saying.
It's fantastic. But
Ending is
anyways.
traumatic.
yeah, but anyways, so you're talking about statistics of Planned Parenthood. But I have that right here for you, Mr. Dalton. This isn't an overall estimate. I don't know the overall estimate that Planned Parenthood has, but I do have 2016's numbers, or at least close to that. So, what? What did you do?
It's fine.
What did you do?
It's fine. No, it's fine.
Okay.
It's
Dalton
okay.
just removed his microphone.
I didn't mean to
mount.
do that.
Oh, geez, wow.
It's a twist.
Oh, here,
Oh,
yeah,
got
yeah.
it.
There you go.
It's
Okay.
fine.
Well, he's fixing that. So, I'm gonna get
Just
to this.
excuse my idiocy. Just
I'm going to get to the statistic. So, this is the number that many people have been arguing is, does Planned Parenthood provide 3% or 97% of abortions in their organization? Well, both Breitbart News, a conservative news outlet, and the Washington Post, a liberal news outlet, have confirmed that, and this is from a 2013-2014 report that the Washington Post reported on. It says that out of the 10.6 million services that Planned Parenthood provides, so contraceptives, I think there's, I don't know what other services they have, 653 of them were abortion procedures. Breitbart News did the exact same thing, but with 2016 numbers, 328,358.
apparently, I set my alarm an hour late.
Oh, wow. There you go. But in 2016, Planned Parenthood had carried out 328,348 abortions. Those are 2 different years, about the same number. So they have about 300,000 abortions a year they carry out.
So I have a
math.
statistic from January 4th, 2018.
Okay.
This the title of this, just the title, is Planned Parenthood killed 321,384 babies last year, bringing the total amount to over 7.6 million.
Since when?
Genocide.
Since
Just saying.
it's just
All
I
in
think
general?
it's over their entire career is 7.6 million.
Yeah. All right. That really just drove my point home for me.
And that's sad. And you know what's even sadder? We talk about, this is a big liberal versus conservative argument. The left likes to make, the whole thing of pro-choice, right? They also like gun control. They love gun control. And Job loves it too. Job loves to talk about gun control.
Heck yeah.
We all love gun control. Okay, well, we love to argue about
I
gun
love
control.
gun debates.
Yes. So and they argue that, well, there's a lot more gun death, or maybe that's wrong, but like there's a lot of gun deaths in America. We have an issue. Well, let's put that number up. So we had 300,000 people in
A year.
A year that Planned Parenthood takes out of abortions.
When did you say that statistic was from?
January 4th, 2018.
This year.
It was from
When was-
CaliforniaFamilyCouncil.org is where you can find it.
All right. And when was our earlier statistic? 2016?
And the one for Breitbart was 2016.
All right.
Okay.
I just want to put this in perspective. 300,000 a year. All right. 300,000 people a year. Yeah. Those babies be 2 years old right now.
Yeah. Exactly. And we would have 300,000 new people here on Earth.
That's 300,000 people
That's
whose
9
potential is lost.
That's babies an entire 3-year span.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing that like 2 of those years are a little bit higher because he had
Probably.
324,000.
Yeah, I just did 300,000 total.
Yeah.
So it's even higher. So,
It's
but
probably
I
around a million.
averaged it out, and it's.
I wonder, but you said Planned Parenthood had performed 6 million abortions, right? That was our
About 7.4, whatever he said.
What was that statistic, Connor?
Which it's 321,384, and as of 2018 January, it was 7.6 million.
The 300. What was it? 300,000.
321,384.
Those 321,000 could have all just wait for it, be put up for adoption.
Wow. Well, you know. But I'm gonna put this up against another statistic.
I'm just gonna throw it out there as our discussion is as we've talked. I think I just changed my opinion more towards pro-choice, more towards pro-life.
Didn't you say in the beginning you were gonna do more devil's advocate?
Yeah, but then I figured out that that's just dumb.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I since I'm on the fence, I'll try to play devil's advocate. I will try to. But I want to put up that 300 million to another statistic. That's gun violence, right? So this is coming from the Center of Disease Control, and it says in 2015, this is firearm mortality. So someone has died to the hands of a firearm, right? In 2015, so this is a year before our statistic, 36,252 persons died from injury by firearms in the United States. That's only injury. So that's not, and I think the death is less because another statistic that I found is, let me pull it up.
So we shouldn't be focusing on gun control. We should be focusing on abortion control.
I have a gun violence. It's called gunviolencearchive.com, and this was updated today.
Oh wow.
September 14th, 2018.
Okay.
There's only been 40,853 incidences. There's been 10,261 deaths, 20,169 injuries. Number of children killed or injured was 478. Number of teens was 2,018. Mass shootings have been 254. Officer-involved shootings, 208. Officer-involved incidents where the subject has been shot or killed was 1,553. Home invasions have been 1,449. Defense use has been 1,276, and unintentional shootings have been 1,166. So as of today, there's only been 40,853 incidences in 2018.
Yeah. So compare that number, and not all of them were deaths.
Not all of them were deaths. That was just incidences.
The incidences. So. If you guys want an actual statistic from the FBI, here it is. An estimated number of murders in the nation in 2015 was 15,696, significantly less than the number of abortions that Planned Parenthood takes out every single year. And here's the thing. So I've heard a very interesting thing. So I think we all agree that Planned Parenthood kills a lot of babies, a lot, and some people like to say, well, they provide free contraceptives. They provide free birth control. My argument to that is, so you can't spend $15 for
You can
birth
get a
control?
pack of condoms at Walmart for like $12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it really that hard to buy
I
that?
actually know the exact price for
What
condoms.
Of course you do.
It's 11.
God damn it.
It's $11.99 for a pack of
$11.99.
six.
Well, okay. And guess what that's
Thanks, Connor.
Hey, and a pack of condoms is less than cigarettes, so boys and girls having sex costs a little bit. Oh, actually, no, wait. Hold up. No, it costs a little bit more than cigarettes. I'm sorry. So cigarettes, okay, cost less. But I was going to say say a carton, you get a pack of a big
Carton's
jumbo.
like $60 or something.
Car's like $60. So having sex is less than you're going to spend less money having sex than smoking cigarettes.
That is if you're like dumb and you have unprotected sex. There's always like the quote unquote morning after pill.
Doesn't work.
I don't. It does. It does.
Well, it does.
It works. It's just.
If you go to Amazon, you
like
can get
$70.
If you go to Amazon, you can get a pack of 36 for $14.47.
Wow. Look at that. Look at that.
And it's 2 days shipping.
So my thing is, free? Did you say free 2-day shipping, Connor?
If you have Prime, it's on Prime. So if you have a Prime account,
all of us should have
shipping.
all of us should have Prime because we're all students.
Boys, get ready to lube up.
That's weird.
You're welcome.
Those are for Trojan Ultra Thins. But
Woo!
I don't know how good they are. Never had sex, so don't know.
I don't know.
I'm sorry, they would just turn from
effective.
a podcast to an infomercial.
Oh no, yeah, they're totally. It's $13.75.
You had to go find it?
Yeah, it's 38 cents per condom.
Jeez, guys. Okay.
But the reel it back in, the argument is, people are like, well, why should we get rid of Planned Parenthood? It's like they say, well, yeah, there's abortions, but they also do this. So it's like they shove them to the side.
Hold on.
What?
I just looked at it. You can subscribe to the Trojan condom thing on Amazon for $13.75 a month for the pack of 36.
You can also get a pack
That's using 1 or 2 condoms a day.
You can get 100 count for $39.
Oh my God.
Or we can stop.
Or we can stop.
It's time to stop.
So the argument is, okay, well, they shove the whole abortion thing to the side and say, well, they provide people with free stuff. Well, okay, that's great, but you can't spend just a portion of
it's not free, by the way.
Well, no, of course.
Nothing in capitalism is free.
Nothing is free. Like, of course not. But they don't understand that condoms are cheap, and so is birth control. Like, oh, you have to go to the doctor's office and get a note and then get your prescription. Okay.
What's better, being embarrassed or having a kid?
Yeah, that's my thing. It doesn't make sense. Do you have any more prompts for us, Dalton? Or
no, I'm liking where this is going.
You're just kind of let it go free.
See, here's my thing.
Mm-hmm.
Point of talking about sex and all that kind of stuff, right? You have an ability to choose, right?
Indeed, you do.
Sex is wonderful and stuff, according to Dalton.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Why am I the example here?
But you still have a choice, no matter what you do.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, before you have sex, why don't you take a risk assessment and be like, okay, sex is what causes babies to happen. No matter how you look at it, sex is for reproduction. Okay? The condom was only introduced to stop HIV and all that kind of stuff and to stop pregnancy. But if you look at it, the sole purpose of having sex is to reproduce the population. So that being said, that's your consequence for having sex. Okay?
Having unprotected sex.
Unprotected sex or sex in general. There is a risk of you getting pregnant.
There is. There's
So accept that fact, and if you do get pregnant, don't be surprised because you did the act that makes that happen.
And I'm going to tell you guys something, and I don't tell too many people this because I didn't know this until, my mother told me, and it's disgusting to know that, but regardless. So condoms are 97% effective, right? There's a 3% chance of getting pregnant using a condom. I'm one of those kids. Dead serious. My father used a condom, but here I am today. So I'm dead I don't know any more details, but that I don't know why I was told. I don't know why I was told that. What?
Friends, what he is saying is that he is a mistake.
That's exactly what I'm telling you.
You're not a mistake, Tyler.
Hey, thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
But I don't know why I think it's just because of my new relationship that my mom told me. But still, it goes back to the fact that even though you wear a condom, it can A, break, or B, you can be like me and be an oopsie baby.
Oopsie baby. This is why we're roommates.
This is why we're roommates, because I'm a mistake and
I'm not.
You're not. So, but that's the thing. It's like I don't think people really put in consideration of not how dangerous, but just how sex happens and how babies make. You can make babies. It's not that hard.
How babies make.
How babies
great.
How babies make. That
how
is
babies make pie and cake and like spaghetti. I don't know how babies make that, but they apparently do.
One of my favorite scenes from any movie is from the movie 17 again, and it's when they're in sex ed, and Zac Efron's character pops up and he's like, it's because they're handing out condoms. He's like, it's okay, I don't need them, and here's why I don't need them. And he explains the purpose of having a baby and that there's nothing like holding this baby and telling it you're gonna be there when it breaks its arm or the first breakup or all this stuff. And if you watch that scene, that's exactly how I feel. It's called making love for a reason. It's because you're passing on your love to a child that you made with someone you love. You're going to raise that child, and you're going to pour all your love into this child.
Exactly.
That's the ultimate goal of having sex, is to raise a child.
Well, and I think it's more important for you and me, Connor, because, our dads really weren't there for us.
No.
Not at all. So having a child to us is a lot more important to the rest, I would say the rest of our generation, because it's become more of a throwaway thing. Like
it's kind of like a hobby now. How much can I get?
Sex is a sport now. That's what it is.
It could legit be an Olympic sport. Who knows? But
Dalton might win.
Oh my God!
Jesus! Don't yell into the mic.
I'm sorry.
My God!
Connor's just using me as an example. Go away. Jeez.
Wow.
I haven't brought any women into our dorm yet.
No.
Not yet.
No.
All right.
And even if you do,
it's good that I brought the yet.
But
anyways,
it's like it's a throwaway thing. But like that's what it's called. Like you said, it's called making love for a reason. I'm not here to judge people if they do it. Like it's a great thing. But I think just people need to realize just how making babies can happen. It can happen easily.
Yep.
It only takes one sperm.
Exactly. The survival of the fittest for those guys. But anyways.
Yep.
Tone's over here just like,
It's very
okay.
uncomfortable.
It is okay, buddy. Is there any other topics? I don't know if we
About abortion? I don't know.
I feel like we covered everything we really need to cover.
Planned Parenthood needs to be destroyed.
Yep.
I'm tired of Planned Parenthood.
Well, here's the thing. I want to reinstate this, that this is America. You have a choice.
Yeah.
Right? Just don't make people who don't believe in it pay for your abortion.
Yeah,
if you want to have an abortion, that's up to you, but pay it out of your pocket. I don't think the government should give assistance like they do as in medical care.
Preach.
Because then you're taking my money, someone who doesn't believe in it, and throwing it to them saying, "Here, this is okay."
Yeah. So that also ties back to the whole thing of, our tax money goes to people who collect unemployment. So,
Yeah, I really don't believe in unemployment either.
Yeah,
No.
me neither. Go get a job at McDonald's.
I'm a very, 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 very big,
as a
advocate
person
for
who's been
capitalism.
on, unemployed, whose family has filed for bankruptcy and has been on food stamps. My father was so embarrassed that he had to get food stamps that this is the only good thing that he's probably ever done. But
dang,
3 months, we were off food stamps in 2.5 months.
Wow.
Because my father would not stop looking for a job until he got one.
There we go.
Now that's okay. If you actually lose a job and you need help from the government, that's kind of, honestly, that should fall into the hands of the church, because that's ultimately what the church is supposed to do. But we were there and we had a little bit of assistance, but we didn't abuse it. My father got a job in 2.5 months. Now he's working at the Arsenal, making $25 an hour. More than enough to support us. My mom's working a job now as well, and I'm kind of working a job.
Military counts.
Yeah.
You have 3 cents to your name, Connor. You're not really working too much.
I just got paid today. So
really?
Yeah.
How would you get paid?
$250.
Ooh.
For how long?
15 days.
Well, that's actually not bad. That's about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
That's about my paycheck. So
I don't have a job.
I get about $500 a month.
Dalton's over here like, I'm here.
I mean, I kind of have a job.
You kind of have a job, yeah.
Kind of. It's completely depends on skill level.
Exactly. So, yeah.
But yeah, I really don't think that the government should pay, like what Connor said, pay for abortions. That's really not something that I feel should happen.
No.
I feel like if you're going to get an abortion, you should pay for it yourself because you're taking a human life, so you should probably pay for it.
Oh, but it costs so much and it'd be a burden on me. I want it for free.
Well, screw you. Don't give handouts. Like I said, I'm a very big proponent of capitalism.
Yeah.
Like capitalism for me is great. I love it. I love the fact that if you work hard enough in capitalism, you're going to make a great life for yourself. That doesn't really happen in any other form of government. Like, you can't get as much money as you can in, like, a communist society or, like, a socialist society or somewhere where, like, the government is, like, in your pocket taking money for other people. No. America was founded on individual, on the individual, on the rights of the individual, on the liberties and freedoms of an individual. So it's up to an individual to get as much money as he can. Yeah, the government needs taxes, but those taxes should be used for military and like export and increase our GDP and be used for infrastructure. It shouldn't be used for people who want handouts or just want things paid for them.
Exactly. Yeah, I can't say it another way. That's completely
that's we'll talk about that when we talk about economics and capitalism.
Bless.
We've gone into a lot of tangents.
We have. we have
Yeah,
about.
and,
They're all kind of related.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
They all,
I mean, everything we talk about is kind of related.
Yeah.
So I honestly, we're talking about having guest stars on the show. I would love to have guest stars from other countries.
Oh, that'd be
that
great.
knew about their political environments.
That would-
Because I would love to hear about how other countries feel about the topics that we talk about.
We have a lot of Koreans, right?
Yeah.
Are they
Yes.
Korean? Yeah.
I don't think a lot of them speak English. I don't think.
Not a lot of
No,
them. do.
there's quite a few of them.
Okay. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe I'm wrong.
There's some culture clubs
there's
around here.
people from there. I think there's some from the Middle East, some from
There's
like
definitely some from Africa.
Africa. I think there's a few from Great Britain.
Yeah.
So like a very similar kind of structure that we have to the United States. That'd be a great.
The free market systems and such.
Right,
So shall we wrap up this session?
I think so.
All right. Well, thank you for tuning in to All Things Conservative with Connor, Tyler, Job, and myself, Dalton Walker, and we will talk to you next week when we actually talk about immigration.
We're gonna actually do it next.
So, and we'll have a guest star, maybe, but we're going to talk about it anyway. So, thank you for listening. Good night.